All right, this is Deanna Marie, and welcome back here to the Clue Seat. And today we're going to be talking about how you need to be very, very careful whose advice you take. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so today we're going to be in Second Chronicles, chapter 10. Okay, and I specifically want you to focus on the verse, Second Chronicles, chapter 10. Verse 16. Okay, so make sure you read that, get into the Bible, open that up, and listen to God and let him speak to you on what he wants you to get out of this message. Okay, so in this part of the Bible, Solomon has just died. Okay, King Solomon has passed away, and his son is now getting ready to take over. Okay, his son decides to ask his father's elders, the people that were advising his fathers, for advice. Like, okay, so what should I do with the people? What's the first thing that I should say? Okay. He has two sets of people. Okay. The elders, the older advisors from Solomon, they say, the people will love you if you say kind words to them, and you say, that you respect them, and you say really nice things to them. They will serve you until the day that you die. Okay. Then he listens to the young men that he had grown up with. Okay. And I think that's really important for somebody to focus on that, because it might be like maybe God's trying to speak to you. I don't want to speak for him, but about maybe listening to people that you maybe grew up with, and like maybe you kind of left those people in the past and you're trying to like bring those people back. I don't know who that's for, but maybe that's what he's it's like a really weird thing that was highlighted to me. So just think about that. But he asked the young men that he grew up with their opinions on the situation, and then they have a completely opposite set of advice that they give him. They say, say that your dad was nice, but you're gonna rule basically with like an iron fist, and go in there and be the tough guy, and then they'll respect you when you are mean to him, basically. Okay, so he's two different sets of advice that he can listen to. Okay. Unfortunately, he chooses to listen to the wrong advice, which was the people that he grew up with. And he goes in there and he basically tells them, like, my dad was nice to you, but I'm not going to be like that. I'm nothing like my dad. Okay. Wrong thing to say. Because basically, that's where we get to the verse that I told you to read. Basically, the people say, whoa. Who are you to talk to us like that? We don't come from the line of David. You're not going to talk to us like that. And basically everybody decides to go home, and they're going to go serve their own houses, and they're going to put away this king, basically like out of sight, out of mind. Okay. What does this mean for you? You need to be very careful with who you listen to advice from. Okay. So if you know that if you are a man or a woman that listens to God and stuff like that, be very careful when you take advice from people that maybe don't have a relationship with God, because you don't know where that wisdom's coming from. Now, does God use all people to, dictate messages and through music and all? Yes, of course. But you have to have wisdom and discernment to understand who you're supposed to be listening to and who you're not, because this man could have had the whole kingdom secured, but he listened, and I bet from the moment that he said that and he saw the people's reaction, he knew that I shouldn't have listened to that. And that's what I don't want to have happen to you. I want you to listen to wise counsel. God gives us people to listen to. Yes, absolutely. But you need to have discernment and make sure that you are listening to the people that have, one, wisdom, and two, it's coming from God. Because not all wisdom is from God and the right kind, okay? And you are going to get in a very, very difficult situation, just like this man. He wasn't king for very long. The kingdom kind of gets torn apart, that's where you get like Israel, and then you have, Judah, and you have all this stuff going on, and it starts here with this this person's bad decision, okay? And it was part of the punishment. God already knew it was going to happen because he told Solomon that this is what was going to happen. But you need to make sure that you're always, praying, listening to wise counsel. This could all have been solved if this kid would have just said, all right, God, I've got 2 different options here. I can do this or I can do this. What do you think? He didn't. He went off of his own eyesight and he went off of his own decisions. And that comes into play listening to the people that he grew up with. He thought that those people, had his best interests and stuff like that. And they probably didn't, because they probably the whole time were thinking, well, Solomon was king. If I was king, I would not be putting up with half of this stuff. And I would, and so the wisdom didn't come from a godly space. It came from probably jealousy and bitterness and and these people think that they're better than you and you gotta, and that's what this kid chose to listen to. So be very, very, very wise and use discernment with who you're listening to, okay? Because especially if God's placed you in authority, some of the wisdom from other people really isn't necessary sometimes, okay? So just something to think about. All right, so anyways, share, subscribe as always, and I will see you guys back here next time.